Hello, Carissa. Hi, Jess. Just seeing if Beck is online yet. Not yet. How are you guys? Always a bit of technology to start with. All right. We're in action. How are you guys? Do you want to, let's just do some sound check while we're waiting for Beck. Hi, Claire. Hi, Jess. Here's Beck. Okay, Beck, let me turn you on. There you are.
I'm here. How are you?
Hello. Good. How are you?
Fantastic. So excited. Jess is here and Charissa's here already. You guys bet me.
They did.
I love that. I love early people. All right, I've got a worksheet for you guys. I'm going to just pop it in the chat box for you. So just click on that, open it up in a new tab or another device, download it, save it, print it off, and that's what we'll be going through today. Fantastic. All right, will I flip my screen around now, Claire?
Go for it.
Sweet. I'll make sure everyone can see it. How many tabs do I have open? 1 billion. Beautiful. Can you see that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. All right, I'm going to go up full screen as well. Cool. So does that work?
Yep.
I can see that. Beautiful. All right, who's ready to get started? Because me and Claire like to get started on time. We don't like to keep anyone waiting. No flapping about. Comment below, say you're ready, and I'd like to hear where you're listening in from as well. Alrighty, so today we're talking SEO and SEO, search engine optimization. We want the Google. Claire, could you mute yourself for me, please?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. All right, so the 6 steps to SEO, how to get more website traffic from Google. So we're talking about more organic, being free traffic, and it can take as little as 40 minutes every 2 weeks. So why SEO? So using these exact steps is how I got Google ranking #2 in 6 months and Google #1 in 8 months for hundreds of sets of keywords. So that's how I know it gets results. All right, so previously I started a website way back in 2010. I'm just trying to move things on my screen so I can see my words. Here we go. So I started back in 2010, and honestly, I got very little website traffic, and I put the website on my business cards. That's the only reason that I got a website, to be honest, to sell cakes. And then I was often racing selling cakes, going to the markets, taking wholesale orders. While my gallery and portfolio was pretty dodgy on my website, I added images every maybe 2 to 3 weeks, and I published a couple of blog posts. And in that first year, I probably updated my website maybe 6 times. But I learned pretty quickly that to get any sort of decent traffic, being numbers of website hits or better Google ranking, I would need to upgrade my website to a WordPress website, and I would need to blog more. So 12 months into business, I upgraded to a WordPress website, and I kept adding more photos. My website hits or page views were about 1 to 3 hits per day in the beginning, and I upgraded to WordPress, and then it was about 10 to 20 hits per day. And I'm going to be completely honest, I had no idea back then in 2011 how to get more website traffic. I was running around like a headless chook, from caking and baking and decorating, going to the markets, doing the deliveries, franchising. And I went and checked my numbers, and I've got them on screen for you now. So nowadays I get 80,000 page views per month. And that equals subscribers, being email subscribers, and then that equals sales. So back in May of 2012, I was getting about 2,700 page views per month. Since then, in March 2013, I had 4,111 hits. July 2014 was 9,461 hits or page views, like I said. March 2015 was 11,600. January 2016 was 16,000, nearly 300. April 2016 got 50,000 hits. June in 2016, I got 300,000 page views, but that was due to some viral content. And nowadays, I sit around 80,000 page views per month. It was in June 2014 I started this, what I call my 9-step SEO strategy. And in 6 months, I hit Google ranking number 2. And in 8 months, Google ranking number 1 for hundreds of sets of keywords. All right, so what are you going to learn in this workshop? We're going to talk the 9-step SEO strategy, how I hit Google ranking number 2 in 6 months and number 1 in 8 months. How to get more organic, read free website traffic from Google and only can take as little as 40 minutes every 2 weeks. How republishing old recipes and tutorials and blog posts. I have tripled my website traffic to the same blog posts. What else we're going to cover is how to set up Google Analytics. It's a free tool to help track your website traffic, so to know how much page views or website hits you have. We're going to talk the importance of a blog roll and a widget, which is in the sidebar area of your website. We're going to talk about whether email subscribers is important. We're going to talk about what are keywords and how to find them. And hint, that's what people are typing into Google and how to be found on Google. We're going to talk about what are meta and beta tags and how important is an SEO plugin and how to use it. All right, plus stay to the end, because they are going to be bonuses. We're going to talk about research, keyword research, the perfect blog post template PDF, plus an example. There's SEO for images and photos. There's step-by-step SEO plugin training. There is a strategy template PDF, plus the behind-the-scenes Google Analytics training. So stay till the end. So this is how I know that this 9-step SEO strategy works, and how I did it is what I'm going to teach you in this workshop, and it is exactly how I get results. So why SEO? SEO again is search engine optimization, and nowadays that means Google, and it's simple. Why SEO? To be found on Google. All right, so it's step number 1, and it is know your numbers. Have Google Analytics set up. Google Analytics is a free tool from Google which you attach to the back end of your website to track your stats, to track your statistics. And that is to know how many people are coming to your website. That is your starting point. To know where you want to go, you've got to have your starting point of how much traffic you're currently getting. One of my favorite mantras or mottos is what isn't measured can't be improved. If you have the aim and intention or goal of growing your website traffic, that starts with measuring it and tracking it. And that's by having Google Analytics set up. So in the worksheet, there is a link on how to set that up if you don't already have that. Step number 2, who are you selling to? Knowing who your potential customer is knowing your target market. Now, this is a foundational building block that most people skip over. They don't feel like doing it, or they don't even know to think about it. So it's stopping for a minute and getting into your potential target market, potential customer, potential client, potential blog reader if you're a straight blogger. And what do they want to know? That's really, really important to stop and think about your target market. Now, I call it a target market exercise. So you literally, it's an exercise where you sit down, pen and paper, and answer some questions and really get into the head of your potential customer. Now, I did not know about this exercise until a couple of years ago, and I will teach you specifically how to do this. I'll tell you more about it at the end. But this is really a foundational building block. All right, so Claire, when did you do your target market exercise? I'd like to hear from you on that and any tips you've got for people.
I have done this so many times, I'd have to say, and it's been a progression, and I think that's, oh, hang on, let me just mute you. I think that's one thing that you need to remember, is that your target market does develop, well, can develop over time. So it's something to reassess, I'd say annually. Make sure you look at your target, who your target person is. So actually, that would be my tip. Think of your target market as a person. I find it a lot easier when you're writing things, when you're coming up with content, to picture this person. So you can get down to as much detail as what they have for breakfast if you want to. But having this person in mind helps you think, oh, what would, I'm not going to say mine's name because it's actually a real person. What would they want to know from this? What do they need from me right now? And it gives you a filter for creating content, I would say. So tips for actually coming up with this person is just to sit down and nut it out. Who's your person? Are they male? Are they female? Start with the basics, their age, where are they, then get into details. What do they like? Where do they live? What's their family like? What do they like to do in a day?
What do they read? What do they watch on TV?
Yeah, keep drilling down and get as much detail as you possibly can about this person.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest mistakes where people not doing this exercise, or potentially not thinking about their target market, is that they think that they're selling anything to anyone. Yeah. And that's the biggest mistake you can make in business, because I promise you, you're not selling anything to anyone.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? What's the saying? If you're not selling to someone, no, if you're trying to sell to everyone, you're selling to no one. Is that it? Yeah.
That's it. And absolutely. So it's one, making you aware of that, so you can have now an aha moment going, oh, I need to do the target market exercise. That's how I can fix this. And like Claire said, it starts with choosing a person, in the sense that you're visualizing it. It could be an actual customer or a potential customer that you're wanting to buy from you. You can give them a name, or they have an actual name. Like Claire said, she's got an actual person that she thinks of. So for example, for me, it was somebody I knew who bought all of my products, essentially. So whenever I was doing anything in my business, writing a blog post, sending an email newsletter, doing something on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, etc., I'd stop and go, all right, I'm going to say the person's name, Crystal. I'm like, all right, I'm writing to Crystal. What do I want Crystal to know? So then you're talking to one person. All right. So like Claire said, when you're selling to everybody, you're actually selling to nobody. So when you're selling to one person, guess who's going to buy? But everyone that fits that mold, in the sense that that's your perfect target market as well.
And I'll just add in one thing. So one thing I know, well, I had trouble with and people have trouble with, is that, okay, so you've got this one person, but you also want to attract this person and this person. And that's okay. But again, if you're selling to everyone, you're selling to no one. So if you just focus on that one target, then those people who are attracted to what you do, or they need to know what you're teaching, but they're not necessarily your specific target, they'll find you. But yeah, focus really specifically on one type of person.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so step 2, who are you selling to? Whoop, too many clicks. Step 3, choose a platform. So what type of website you have. Now, I use and recommend WordPress, and this is wordpress.org, so a self-hosted wordpress.org website, which is different to .com. And the reason is Google loves WordPress and WordPress loves Google. So again, like the target market exercise, choosing a platform is a foundational building block. There are some types of websites and types of platforms that if you choose wrong in the beginning, you're just not going to get much Google traffic just by default. And Claire is the same. She has a wordpress.org website. All right, step number 4, what to write about. So search engine optimization is getting the Google traffic, and that means adding blog posts to your websites. So adding websites regularly. That is what you're doing every 2 weeks at a minimum, at least. And it should only take about 40 minutes a time. And I'll show you exactly how to do that. And I'll tell you more about that very, very soon. but you're adding blog posts which is articles, to your website. Now you've learned your WordPress website. So what should you write about? The next step is doing keyword research. So these are the types of words people are typing into Google. Now this is really, really important. Knowing what to write about, you want to find out what are people typing into Google, so I can write a blog post so that answers that person's question. So again, that target market exercise that we spoke about becomes really important. You can go, well, what is Crystal? I'm going to say Crystal. What has Crystal been asking me, or what does Crystal need to know right now? Well, she's struggling with pricing cakes. That's what I know. I need to write an article about how to price cakes, for example. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to do keyword research. I'm going to write how to price cakes. That's what I know she's thinking about right now. So how I do keyword research, and these are keywords, just heads up in case anyone doesn't know that, that is a set of keywords. Keywords is what people are typing into Google. You want to have an article or blog post where people type in a set of keywords and you have the answer being on your website. All right, so I've typed that into Google, and here is how I do keyword research.
And just one note, look who comes up first.
Well, that's because my website knows, my computer, knows I go to the Angel Foods website a lot, so it automatically chooses that. Each computer will show something different.
But you're number one, Beck.
No, number one, thank you. Yes, that one I've worked on a long time ago. And here is a list of suggestions for other blog posts you can write. So you could title it with keywords, how to price cakes. It could be how to price cakes and cupcakes. Ooh, that's a good idea. I haven't done that. How to price cakes spreadsheets. People are searching for that. How to price cakes for profit. Homemade cake prices. Ooh, that's a good one. So people with home bakeries. A cake pricing calculator. Cake prices for Australia. So you could do a country specific. All right, so it's given me 8 lists of suggestions right there while typing in the search bar. So this is how you do keyword research. This is literally how I do it. No tools, no software, no paid subscriptions, nothing fancy. Google gives me my keyword research. Second place I look is in the top 10 spots to see what their titles are and their descriptions. And they're full of keywords. They are keyword rich. So not that you're copying or stealing, but you're using that for inspiration to get your keywords so you can write a really good article that answers that specific problem, how to price cakes. And the last place to look for keyword research, down the bottom here after number 10, searches related to the keywords, how to price cakes. And again, it's got that list there as well. So you could click on, let's go to the how to price cakes spreadsheet, for example, and you know what it's going to give me down the bottom? More suggestions, more keywords. So that, let's see if I can get back to my other screen. There we go. So that is how you do keyword research, and that's to find out what to write about. Step number 5 is a page title and description, so otherwise known as meta and beta tags. So if you've ever asked yourself, what are meta tags, what are beta tags? I know it's got something to do with SEO. Basically a page title and description, or a blog title and description. So the page or the post title and the descriptions need to be keyword rich. So like we were just looking on Google, you can see that the title was keyword rich, or like specifically what I was writing in there was my keywords. That means keyword rich. And within the first paragraph, so 2 to 3 sentences, that's your description. So when you write your blog post and article, you need to have it keyword rich. That's why, because that's where Google is searching for those words, being those keywords which people are typing into Google. All right, so the page or post title and description need to be keyword rich. That's what I'm going to suggest. And again, using that keyword training, keyword search training, like I just showed you, write in all those words, put them into your title and description. Is there anything you wanted to add to that, Claire?
No, I don't think you've ever showed me your keyword searching trick. That is fantastic. I sort of naturally do that, but that's brilliant. No, I was just going to.
So how do you do research, keyword research?
I tend to use Pinterest a bit for keyword research. Scroll through, you know how it comes up with popular, what's popular at the moment, and I'll scroll through that and see what's getting the most traction there. So it's probably not as effective as your tool, but that's more to get an idea of I guess themes. So then you would look on Pinterest if people are doing cakes and cake pricing and thing, and then go to Google. So I guess the step before your step.
Yeah, that's kind of brainstorming a topic. If you don't have a crystal, for example, and you're like, where do I just start? Start with Pinterest, and what would your target market be looking for on Pinterest? What is popular right now, like Claire said? What are they scrolling? What's of interest to you and your target market? So again, that target market exercise comes in, that you're in the mindset of your target market. It's not about you and what you want and what you feel like writing necessarily, but what would your target market be searching for on Google? That's the whole point of this.
Yeah. Because again, Pinterest is, if you've taken our Pinterest workshop, it's a search engine as well, more than a social media platform. So it is somewhere that people go to search for content.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so step number 6 now is quality content. So you figured out what to write about. You've got a blog post, title and description just about. It is really, really important that you write good information that your target market would be interested in. Google rewards quality over quantity. You need to know this. So writing a blog post per day, 365 days per year, if the content's rubbish, being you've got 6 words in there, or it doesn't make sense, or it's not correct English, it's your target market aren't interested in it, it's just what you did on the weekend, for example, that's not going to get you Google traction. That's not going to get you results. Good quality wins every day of the week. So for example, if you write a really awesome piece of content, let's say a blog post or an article once every 2 weeks, even once a month, that will be far, far better than feeling like you need to do this 4 times per week and just spit out rubbish, for example. So quality over quantity.
Can I just add in here that, I used to be the person who would think that they had to write a new post every single day, and I would just be writing, like literally looking around, what can I write about today? Okay, that, just to get content in there. And then a couple of years ago, I was talking to somebody who was helping me with SEO, and he said, you need to write like 1 post a week. If you cut back to them, I'm like, no, because then I won't have all this content. It's like, no. Quality content, really good stuff that people actually need, rather than just pumping it out there. And it's sort of a game changer for you as well, because it's a lot easier to focus on one thing per week than running 7 different blog posts a week.
Absolutely. So I call them epic or ultimate pieces of content. Don't get me wrong, they don't have to be 10,000 words long, but something that you turn around at and look at that piece of content and go, am I proud of that? That's your gauge right there, whether that's quality or not. Are you proud of what you just wrote or did or created, or the tutorial or whatever it is? All right. And that's how you know the answer too.
I'm just going to give a very quick example of this. Sorry, Beck. I'm really jumping in here. But I wrote a post the other day that was literally five things to do before bed to make your mornings run smoother. I had so many comments, people messaging me on Instagram and commenting on it, just saying how valuable that was for them. So it might seem simple to you, but remember, it's valuable to your audience. So you're thinking of your person, what's something that's really, really going to help them? And that's where the quality comes in, if it's going to help them solve whatever their problem is.
Yep, that's it. All right, step number 7, a blog template. All right, so you know that you've done your keyword research, you know your target market's looking for it, you mind blank. What were we just talking about previously? Oh, you're creating quality content, something that you're proud of. So now you're going to do it in a blog template. So this is a blog post template that I follow, and a lot of bloggers do, or people writing articles on their website. website. And Google happens to love this template. And I'm going to share it with you. It is in the worksheet as well. What it does is improve the length of time that people stay on your website, and it decreases the bounce rate. So people are more likely to click through to other pages on your website, and therefore they're not going to hit one page and just bounce straight off, navigate away, cross away. You want people to stay longer, and that's part of your SEO strategy. One, the longer the people stay on your website and reading the article, Google notices that and recognizes that and rewards that. When you decrease your bounce rate, being people not bouncing, being they hit one page on your website and leave, that's a bounce, and you get a bounce rate. When you decrease that, Google recognizes it and again rewards you. You're after little rewards. You want little gold stars from Google, and that adds up to SEO. All right, so let's talk the blog post template. Number one, you need to have a title that is keyword rich. Number two, the first paragraph needs to be keyword rich. Number three, have an image on your blog post. I suggest having at least one feature image. I call it a feature image if it's just one feature image on your website that has alternative text or alt text. I will be telling you a bit more about that in a sec. Number four, have a story or a bit of a backstory for readability and for building the know, like, and trust factor, being building up a relationship. People get to know you through stories or attracted to stories, and that therefore increases your time on your page. So the time that they're spending on your page. Again, it's a Google Gold Star. Number five, you hyperlink to your own content. So through your story and then through whatever the content is, you're naturally linking through to another piece of content, another article on your website, another blog post on your website, another page on your website. So you're hyperlinking through to your own content. That reduces your bounce rate as well. Again, another Google Gold Star. I suggest hyperlinking between 2 to maybe 8 times, depending in an article, depending how long it is. Obviously 8 times would be for quite a long piece of article. So make sure the hyperlinking is quite natural and it does make sense to do that. Number 6, you can embed in video. Now, if there's some way that you can embed a video, whether it's a recipe or a quick time video or a bit of a tutorial or a bit of something, if you embed in video and people hit play, guess what? They're going to get to know you better. Again, like the story, get to know you, build a relationship with you. And also it's going to improve the length of time people stay on your page.
But can I just ask in there, so it's embedding your own video?
That's a good question. It doesn't have to be your own video. If it's somebody else's, obviously credit the other person's, but if it adds to your content being good quality content, that's the aim, that you just turn around and look at it and go, I'm really proud of that. That really helps my target market or my potential customer, and I've given amazing value. It doesn't have to be your own content, but it can be at the same time. All right, step number 7 is a call to action, a CTA, a call to action. Give a call to action. What are you wanting them to do by the time they reach the end of your blog post? Are you wanting them to comment below? Are you wanting them to click through to part 2 of this series of those blog posts? Are you wanting them to check out more? Are you wanting them to subscribe to your YouTube channel? Are you wanting them to come to your Facebook page? Are you wanting them to subscribe or opt in to become an email subscriber? What is the point? Being you've written this blog post, you're getting more website traffic. What is the next step you're wanting them to take? For me, and I'll check with Claire in a second, the number one thing I want them to do is to opt in. I want them to sign up to become an email subscriber. I want to grow my email list. My whole website and business model is content, capture, convert. Capture email subscribers. So adding an opt-in at the bottom of the blog post plus multiple pages times through the blog post achieves that outcome. All right, and step number 8 is a blog roll. A blog roll is at the bottom of a blog post where it has other suggestions or alternatives or pieces of content that people can click through to learn more. Again, they've gotten right to the bottom of your blog post or article or content. That's fantastic. They'll probably more than likely want to know more. So add a blog roll And again, that reduces your bounce rate so people click through to somewhere else. So Claire, what call to action do you have in your blog template?
So mine is, like Beck said, always to subscribe, but it's not to subscribe. It'll be for an opt-in, some kind of bonus content that I've got, or for some posts, I will create something that's relevant to that post. So for example, again, the four things to do before bed to make mornings easier, I made a printable checklist, which a whole lot of people opted in for. So if you want to stick to this, grab a copy of my free printable template, put it on your fridge.
Exactly, a call to action, like you give it, that's a really important part of your blog, that you give a call to action to achieve that outcome. If you just say, here's my article and just hope they do it and have, you know, your opt-ins hidden on your website, hard to find, they're not front and center, and you're not saying very clearly, this is what I want you to do next, here is your next step, click here, sign up into your email address. That is a call to action. I'm going to add the word clear, call to action. Really important. You give the very next step you want them to take.
And Beck, can I just ask, when you say blog roll, are you referring to a plugin, or is this something you create yourself?
Good question. I'm going to talk about that more in a minute. It's one of my bonus tips. All right, step number 8 is the images and photos. When adding an image or a photo to your blog post, to your articles, to your website, you need to be filling in the alt text, which is called alternative text, but it's the alt text. You need to fill this in. Really, really important. I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like in a sec as well, actually. All right, step number 9 is the SEO plugin. Have a plugin. That's probably the first tip, which I should have written on here. Have a plugin on your WordPress website. There are 2 plugins that I use and recommend. One is called All-in-One SEO, or the other one is called SEO by Yoast. Both of these are really good plugins, and make sure you fill it in. Now, if you've not been filling in your plugin, I've got a story for you. So I had learned about the plugins, and I was filling them in for a good year, had really good growth on my website. And then I got a bit lazy, just stopped filling it in. It only takes me less than 5 minutes per blog post. Got a bit lazy. No, I'll just move on to the next thing for nearly a year. And when I stopped and turned around and had a look at my website traffic, it had actually been stagnant, plateaued for 15,000 page views for that whole 12-month period. So I'm like, maybe it's because of the plugin. I'll go back and fill in those blog posts, and from every blog post moving forward, I'll fill in that plugin. And I increased, I think, to 30,000 within a couple of months, 30,000 page views per month. So it makes a big, big difference. If you learn nothing else from this workshop other than fill in that plugin, don't ignore it. It is really, really important that you make sure you fill it in. Like I said, it takes less than 5 minutes. I'm going to show you or tell you more about how you can do that in less than 5 minutes very soon. All right, so I've got bonus 3 tips for you, and they're one of the questions Claire had as well. If anyone's got any questions while we're going through this, please comment below in the chat box, and Claire will be sure to interrupt me and let me know if you've got questions. All right, bonus 3 tips. Number 1, have a blog roll. I'm going to show you what that looks like to me in a second. Number 2, have a widget area. And number 3, republish old content to current date. All right, let me show you my screen. We'll go through each of those. So having a blog roll is at the bottom of your blog post. So I'm over at RebeccaAllen.com, and this is my guide to opt-ins. So opt-ins, like we were saying, is when you collect email subscribers. And the widget, let's go to the bonus tip number 2. The widget is the widget sidebar, which is this section here of a blog post. From a lot of websites, it's on the right-hand side. For some people, it's on the left-hand side. Just depends on your theme and how you set up your website. The widget sidebar, why that's of importance for SEO is you want it to link through to somewhere else on your website. So I've got an opt-in. Remember, that's really important with my website. It's the main thing I want people to do. Number 1 priority. Number 2 priority is they click through somewhere else. So I've added my categories, blog categories, that people can click through here. Also, I've got a list of my most popular content. So this is other pieces of blog posts. Claire, could you mute for me, please? Most popular content. So there is other blog posts here that people can click through to. And again, that reduces your bounce rate, and that you get more gold stars from Google. All right, so that's your widget sidebar, and that's why they're important to have those type of other clickable things to your website, to your content, to reduce your bounce rate. All right, so now I'm scrolling down to the bottom to get, when I get there, to the blog roll. So this was quite an epic piece of content, obviously. All right, so my blog roll on RebeccaEllen.com, while not pretty, is effective. It's got 6 easy steps to record your videos and get noticed on YouTube, and then it's got 9-step SEO strategy as well. So you can click through to find out more, click through to find out more. Now, I actually, to answer your question, Claire, I don't actually know if it's a plugin or not. I'm presuming it is, but I'm sure you can tell us more about that. So you can have ones that are just words, and you can have blog rolls, which are images with words, and that click through. So tell me about your blog.
Yeah, so I have a plugin. I want to say, I don't know what the name of it is, but there are lots of recommended posts or popular posts or something like that, and you just add it in. I think it's just a setting in the plugin that you add it to the bottom of every blog post, and you can exclude it from certain things, and it will just come up with, I'm sure it's got some sort of algorithm where it scans the content and comes up with, for mine, it's 4. I think you can change the number. And it's just a photo and the title. So the image and the title of those 4 blog posts that are relevant. I think it's called relevant content. If you have a search, just go into Google and type plugin recommended posts or relevant content or something like that, and you'll find it. It's not.
And so
heaps out there.
Yeah, so search within your theme and your type of website platform. And
so Monica,
as well.
Monica said, is there a plugin to create a blog roll? So yes, there is. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. There's heaps of them, just depends on type of product. All right, so while we're here as well, this is a great example of the template we were just talking about. So guide to opt-ins, keyword rich first paragraph, and the image. So remember I said to add alt text to an image, and that is because when I hit Pinterest to save, actually I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see this, because it's opening in a new window, you're not going to be able to see it. So ignore that. When somebody pins from your website, because that alt text is filled in, they'll be able to pin that to Pinterest with a description, but also Google can read that image. So you know how you have Google images? The alt text field is what Google and Pinterest is reading, because remember, they can't read images. You need to give them words so they know what that image is about. All right, and tip number 3 was republishing old content to a current date. Now, I have heard from an SEO expert that Google is giving preference to content that's published now rather than in the past. So for example, let's say I have a chicken enchilada recipe from 2011. It doesn't really get old, that content, as in it doesn't really get out of date. It's still usable, it's still fresh, it's still a good recipe. So tip number 3 is republish your old content to current date. So you can set aside some minutes per week, 10 minutes per week, and going and getting old blog posts, which are still relevant, still timely, still Googleable, still really good content, and updating to the current date being 2nd of May 2018. That tip alone 3 times my traffic to those same blog posts. That tip alone. So recipes are perfect for this, they're timeless. Tutorials are perfect for this, they're timeless. If you're talking about Facebook ads, for example, how to set up Facebook advertising campaign, that does get out of date because Facebook changes so quickly. So make sure the content is universal and is up to date. But that one bonus tip alone, 3 times my traffic to those blog posts. So do you do that, Claire?
Yes, I do. And I'll just add one thing. This might be a little bit of an advanced thing, but when you republish it to a new date, or more recent date, just make sure that you don't edit the permalink at all. So that's the, Beck, you might have to show what it is, because if you change that, if people have pinned to it or linked to it or anything like that, they're going to get an error. So Beck will show you how to do that.
Unmute myself. Really, really important that you don't change the permalink, which is this, your URL, which is your link. Don't change it. When you're updating, update the date. You can change the content in the middle. You can change images and alt text. Just do not change this, because you don't want that link to be broken. You still want that link to go exactly there. Okay, so you can change the title. So make that keyword rich. You can change this to make it keyword rich. Just don't change the permalink / URL. Alrighty,
sorry, Beck, just one sec. Jess, does that answer your question? So Jess said, when you say republish all content to current date, do you mean posted as if it was new? So yes. She does a throwback Thursday on her Facebook page and post something from a year ago. Should I add it as if it's new instead of a throwback picture? So you can do the throwback Thursday on your Facebook page, but Beck is referring to, reposting it, not reposting it, just updating it and posting it to the current date.
Yeah. So for example, top 10 Mother's Day cakes. It's a list post or an article I created last year or even the year before. I can go pull that out, update it to now. The cake, the article's still good. It is Mother's Day coming up. So republish it to the current date, and Google recognizes it as new content, being current content, being up to date, and therefore, again, gold stars from Google. You get rewarded for Google and more likely to get better Google ranking. All right, so I can understand we've gone through these 9 steps with 3 bonus tips, and you're like, help. You want help working out these steps of exactly how to do that. So how to do that keyword research training, and that perfect blog post template, and a step-by-step blog post of exactly how I SEO my blog posts, how to SEO images and photos, which in all honesty takes 20 seconds, how to fill in that SEO plugin. I told you I'll talk about that, and the SEO strategy template plus behind the scenes of Google Analytics training. So in Blog Business School, if you like this training, you're going to love Blog Business School. We have a $1 trial period for the first month, 100% money back guarantee, and you can cancel anytime. And there is a Smash SEO course inside Blog Business School. So in there, we cover 9-step SEO training. There is the target market exercise. Who is your target market and how to find them? That exercise and activity is inside Blog Business School. The Google Analytics training, how to find what information I need in Google Analytics so that I know how much website traffic is coming, what my bounce rate is, how long people are staying, and where people are coming from. There is keyword research, how to find out what your keywords are, what are sets of keywords without using any annoying tools or programs, and it's a strategy on how to do your keyword research. Plus, there's SEO images and photos in the Smash SEO course. How I SEO my images and photos, meaning I optimize them for searchability and Googleability so that people can find my website and articles through those images. There's the SEO plugin training. I show you which 2 SEO plugins I use and recommend and exactly how I fill them in. Again, less than 5 minutes. Number 7, adding a blog post. I have an example of exactly how I add a blog post, how I SEO the blog post, including the images and fill in the plugin, all in under 20 minutes. There's the blog roll and widgets. See exactly what I mean when I talk about blog roll and widgets and how exactly that helps SEO. Plus, when you sign up for $1 to Blog Business School for the first trial month, while we are live, so right now during this workshop, you will also receive a bonus free 10 personalized blog post ideas done for you that Google will love. All right, so enroll in blogbusinessschool.net for $1. You will receive that bonus 10 personalized blog posts done for you. Plus, you also go on the draw for the chance to win a $900 monthly member prize pack. So you get a gift posted to your door, you get interviewed for a podcast, you get a free 30-minute session with me and Claire, and you get to submit 2 articles for our websites. So enroll in Blog Business School for $1 and get those bonuses. All right, so that's the end of the training. If anyone has any questions at all about that training in SEO, please let us know. Stop share. Beautiful. All right, so how does SEO feel to everyone now? Does it still feel, it shouldn't, confusing and overwhelming, or is it the steps really broken it down, gone, that's completely doable? Because when I heard it this way, and that's why I teach it this way as well, it just makes my brain happy. There's like, nah, that's completely doable. So I set aside 20 minutes per week to go update some old blog posts, for example. We'll go create some new images and add some old text. What about you, Claire?
Yeah, that you showing me that. I mean, I've been using the plugin for a while. I don't know why we have this annoying echo, but it just made such a difference because it makes sense, and my brain likes steps. So if I can have steps that I can follow each time that I post a blog post, it makes a big difference to me. But to just say, not as confusing, still a challenge as it's all new. Yeah, I mean, everything's tricky when you first start out, but once you get used to it, I would recommend, the end of my sentence was, I would recommend actually writing out the steps. And every time you write a post, look at your little steps chart on your wall. Yep, done that, until you get used to it. And that'll just become second nature.
Absolutely. So that blog template and those steps are all in Blog Business School with the Smash SEO course. Can't live without less. Yeah. Like
heart, Jess.
Yeah. People are still here. Teresa and Jess and Monica and Stacy. Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I really appreciate your time. Just rocks my little cotton socks off. All right, fantastic. I can see people are signing up to Blog Business School already. Brilliant. So jump in, like I said, while we're live. We're about to finish in like 2 minutes. While we're live, grab Blog Business School for $1.
Yes, we know you're in, Jess.
And Jess is in. Jess is a winner. And you get that those 10 personalized blog ideas done for you, which Google will love, valued at $27. So excited, Monica. Fantastic.
And it makes Beck and me like nerdy excited to come up with those ideas.
It really does. Fantastic. All right, Claire, was there anything else that you wanted to add?
I think that's it for me.
Yeah. Sweet, we rocked it. And we always aim for about 40 minutes, and we pretty much rock that as well, because we know your time's valuable, guys. We get started right just about in the minute, really, because we appreciate your time and we value it, so we jump straight in and give you the good stuff.
Oh, what about next workshop, Beck? What are we...
To be fair, I haven't talked about that. I haven't planned next week's one yet. But what is definitely scheduled in and definitely happening on the 23rd of May, so 3 weeks from today, Pinterest. We're talking Pinterest again. That's one of our most popular workshops. So that's why we're pulling it out again, because it's been about 2 months. People loved it. They're like, oh my God, why did I not know this about Pinterest? So here's the Pinterest workshop. You can sign up for in our future workshops that we've got coming up. blogbusinessschool.net/free workshop. I can't type and talk at the same time. Not possible, people. Fantastic. All right, I think that's everything. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I hope you have an epically awesome day.
Thanks,
remember, it's time to live your sweet business dreams. Bye.
See ya.
Bye, Jess.